Good morning, everybody. We are so excited to kick off day two of the business of being you. Yesterday, we talked about how a personal brand is so important, how everyone needs one today, and how you can monetize it, how you can create a whole empire, a whole business based on your personal brand, the things that you're passionate about. And today, we're going to share with you guys an incredible vehicle. This is the vehicle that Dr. Tamia, Kazi, Michelle, and Dawn and thousands of others have chosen, and we're going to share with you why. We're going to take you behind the scenes. But to kick it off, we have our beloved CEO, Steve Fife. This man is an incredible visionary. He has the best laugh in the world. And if you're not even funny, you'll feel very funny when you're having a conversation with him because he's just going to laugh at everything you say with the best laugh in the world. He's got an incredible heart, an incredible vision. And really it's that vision, that visionary view that he has that is going to take us so far, and why it makes it such an exciting time to be a part of LifeVantage, to be a part of this incredible wave that is coming. So, Steve, please say hello to everybody. And my first question I'll ask you before I turn it over is talk about this concept of playing to win. I know that was something you instilled in us years ago before you changed our comp plan. It was the concept of play to win. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on the call with you. And I frequently, whenever anyone kind of talks about my laugh, I guess I have maybe a distinctive laugh, but it's not something that I can just do on demand. So don't ask me, well, laugh, Steve. It has to, there has to be something more than just a request. But many of you have probably heard it before. And I love, Andrea, that the empire, building an empire, because I really believe that that's the opportunity that we have at LifeVantage right now. When I get up every morning, I look forward to the day and what lies ahead of us, because it's just the pasture is so green right now. And a lot of it is, it's not just you know, life just doesn't happen haphazardly. I think you have to make and create your own destiny, your own future. Sometimes you luck into things, but I've found that that's not very sustainable when it's just kind of lucky. And I hope you all know just how conscious and the last few years has been around putting things in place to optimize and to fully leverage everything that this industry has to offer, and LifeVantage specifically in the industry. And it a lot of it comes from this mindset that I've had my whole life. It was embedded within me from my dad. My dad was a fiercely competitive person. And I can tell you it took no mercy on the children. It was there was never a consolation win or a sympathy win with my dad. You had to earn it. And I'll never forget when I could beat him in basketball playing 21, and especially the first time I beat him playing golf. He's the one that taught me how to play golf. And I had several attempts where I would be in striking distance or ahead going into the 17th or 18th hole, and I would choke, and he would uh he would remind me of that. But I also savored the day that I actually beat him, and never looked back after that day, actually. But so it was instilled in me at a very young age. And it's just I think it's a mindset, and setting goals and not letting distractions get in your way of what your goals are. And all of us, you on this call, all of us have had successes in our lives. And playing to win is that mindset that I'm going to overcome. I'm not going to be comfortable, and it's so different. I'm a you all know I'm a huge sports fan, and you see it in football, you see it in hockey, you see it in basketball, where you can get a lead, you can get comfortable. Maybe you're getting to a point where um, maybe you're making more money than you ever thought you would, at LifeVantage or in your businesses. And there's a mindset that can creep in of, well, how do I protect that? How do I not lose that? And my experience has been when that happens and that mind shifts to protecting rather than continuing to invest and to move forward, bad things happen. And at LifeVantage, I think we had been playing defense or playing not to lose for way too long. And fortunately, with the support of our board and incredible executives within the company, and then a tremendous partnership that we have between, the company and our field, this mindset of let's do something to get out of this funk. And we're none of us were happy where we were, and let's do something about it. And so we've invested in the company, we've invested in this industry. I am a huge believer and champion of multi-level marketing. It is one of the best industries in the world, in part because of how we change people's lives. And it's a tremendous opportunity, blessing, and to some degree almost an obligation that we have. And it's rare that you can connect a business opportunity, benefit other people, and in doing so benefit yourselves. So it's a mindset that, again, every morning I wake up and in the office we're talking about how we can win, and pushing the envelope to make sure that we are doing everything we can to support you and your businesses.
I think people tend to think, Steve, it's a win-lose situation. And we really do go for the win-win and the win-win-win so that people are getting healthy, people are bringing finances into their home, the company is growing. I so appreciate this evolved compensation plan. We're going to talk about that later in our call today. But does anyone have any questions they want to ask Steve while we have him here?
I actually, Steve, I have to tell you, as you know, this is my third company. And so your leadership just shines. And I respect you so much. So grateful that you're at the helm of this company, because I feel like I found my home, somewhere that I want to be, forever. And I too am a sports junkie who's highly competitive, and I don't let my kids win either. It's character building, I'm pretty sure, right? But just this morning, I sent my son, who's a senior in high school, football, he's an athlete. This is his first year to really get some time on the field, and he's worked so hard to hone his craft. But this morning, as I was browsing the internet, I heard a reel from Tom Brady. Everybody here knows who Tom Brady is, right? He's my crush. But anyways, that has nothing to do with this. Tom Brady's advice for athletes. I'm going to send you this reel. Maybe you've already seen it, but his advice for athletes is you can't be a peak performer if you're not competitive every day.
Mm.
And I just think, there's days when you don't feel like being competitive. Maybe you're a little complacent because it's 6:30 in the morning, or something didn't go right the day before or whatever. But I feel like you have that competitive edge and that competitive nature that really has set us up in such a beautiful way. And so I'm so grateful to you for that. I just want to make sure you know how grateful we are for you. But can you talk a little bit about that competitive edge, but also having money to invest and what that looks like for the future of LifeVantage?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Don. And Tom Brady's from San Mateo, California, where I grew up. Who knew? Who knew, right? Um, we're a slightly different era in high schools, but
I doubt it.
but yeah, no, part of the beauty of LifeVantage, again, publicly traded company, there's full transparency on our financials. And there's a lot of people talk about our cash and we're debt free, both of which are true and unique within this industry. But the other thing that comes by being a publicly traded company is we have access to equity. And so we can invest in opportunities with our cash, and but also we could use equity in the company to do bigger types of transactions. And the enhancing our comp plan over the last couple of years, that was a massive investment for us. We invested $6 to $8 million to make that happen. And we were able to fund that through our cash and through the Carl does a great job, managing our financials. We were able to fund that all internally through just cash that we have on our balance sheet. And we've announced, and many of you know that we're now investing more in our technology. We've partnered with Shopify, and this is a year-long project before you'll see any benefits coming from it. It's taking that long, and another $1 million plus to pull that off. But we're in a position to be able to do those and invest back in the company. And I'd say, along those lines, you all know about an announcement that we made a month ago about a partnership with Love Biome, and it's a tremendous relationship, that was formed very quickly. Kelly Olson and Sean, they reached out to us towards the end of June, and looking to partner with someone who could accelerate their growth. They had launched a new product. The company's been around for about 3 years, had success financially and with a tremendous product launch back in the March timeframe. And they saw an opportunity, and I credit them for their vision of how can they accelerate this. And they concluded the best way to do that was to leverage another company's infrastructure and to really add on. And when we met the first conversation I had with Kelly, there was a bit of a romance that was formed because of how aligned our vision and what could be and how big this could be. And it really goes beyond just, just a product or just a group of, dedicated professional consultants. It is an amplification of taking two companies, bringing them together in a way that benefits both. And we talked, very early on that 1 plus 1 here is going to equal 5. And that should be important to all of you because of the excitement this already is generating and will generate as we integrate. All we've done so far is announce that we're entering into this agreement. We're hopefully going to announce very soon that we have finalized all of our diligence and we've officially signed. But the future ahead of both of us, on a combined basis is so great. And Dr. Tamia is with us as one of Love Biome's leaders. She is amazing, and the caliber, the quality of the consultants and customers that as we join forces now, there is going to be an amplification that allows really LifeVantage to continue the leapfrogging that we've done. We started this, I think, with the definition of activation as our differentiator from a product standpoint. We leapfrogged when we launched the Evolve compensation plan. No one in this industry has a plan as thoughtful as and designed as well as our plan. And now we are leapfrogging by a partnership with Love Biome that is going to, eyes are going to be on us as they wait and look and see just how powerful this is. So long response there, but it's an exciting time.
And I love that we can say these things, right? We can say we're debt free, but we're actually publicly traded. So anyone can go look and fact check all of this, that all of our financials are there. We're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. I love that. And I will mention that there's over a dozen companies that shut down overnight, literally overnight, to everybody's surprise. Nobody saw it coming. And they were all privately owned companies. So nobody knows the numbers, what's going on behind the scenes, if they're tanking, if the ship is sinking. They only know when the raft boats are out, right? And they're telling them get off the ship, right? It's sinking. Um, I do love that about our company. I love that we're publicly traded and it sets us apart. Anyone else have any questions for?
Oh, actually, thank you so much, Andrea. And thank you, Dawn, for asking that question. And thank you, Steve. This is my second time. Well, actually, this is my third time.
Okay.
Actually, sitting and having a conversation with you. I'm truly honored. I feel that I'm in a real good place right now, not only myself, but for everybody that's listening. And we're just excited because here's the thing. You all have built something magnificent over the past 16 years. I had the opportunity to listen to Michelle on yesterday, and she blew my mind. I'm telling you, Michelle, listen, you really, really, you took me way over there. And that's the reason why I couldn't sleep last night. But the thing is that you built something 16 years, took you 16 years. When I think about the pool, the shares that are paid out to the executives and above every single month, and here you have all of these individuals that's going to have access to that pool that they weren't here 16 years ago. But because of the merge, because of the acquisition, because of the relationship that was the romance that was formed between yourself and Mr. Olson, we now have a chance. And so I'm just curious, and I know those that's listening, I know they're curious too. Being that your company, I mean, it's a publicly traded company, you have money in the bank, millions in the bank. Product is not an issue. You're never out of product, no back orders and things of that nature. Why would you even consider partnering up with another company? I mean, what was it about Love Biome that made you say, okay, let's do this? I'm
Yeah.
just curious, and I know those listening, they're wanting to know too.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you to pull off a transaction like this in 2 months. I'm sure there's been transactions that are done quicker than that, but it's pretty unusual to from that first conversation with Kelly to when we signed that agreement, it was 2 months. And that happens when there is a shared vision around, again, what can be, what will be. And for me, and we get I probably 4 times a month I'll have inbound emails around a company that's for sale. And I look at every one of them. And in the 8 years that I've been with LifeVantage, we have not proceeded with any one of them. So why was Love Biome different? First thing I'll tell you is that every time I get one of these, it is somewhat interesting to me. I'll send it on to Julie Boyster and Lisa in R&D and ask them about the product. and ask them to evaluate it. And does it meet LifeVantage standards? Is it true to our activation story? Is it true to our product development principles around science-based, demonstrable? And does, because it's a non-starter for me if there's a product clash or it doesn't work from a product standpoint. Secondly, is we look at compensation plans. We looked at Love Biome's plan to understand what the drivers were in that plan, and we look at it in comparison to Evolve because again, we think we have the best plan out there, and we need to be able to convince you, Tamia, and others at Love Biome why this is such a good thing and that you have an opportunity to, in this case, earn even more than you were earning at Love Biome. And I fully believe that is the case. I think you believe that that's the case when you stack up the two plans. And that's important, for your own financial well-being, but it's important because we want to attract everyone from Love Biome and bring them into the family. We don't want to lose anyone in that journey. And that's a question that everyone has immediately is, well, how does this impact me? And I think we can check those two boxes, the product strategy, the compensation strategy really well. And then it's the culture fit. And every person I met within Love Biome, there was no hesitancy in terms of, can I see them being, brought into LifeVantage, and how are they going to contribute? And knowing our LifeVantage family as well as I do, um, are they going to embrace, anyone as well? And I could just see this marriage happening because of that cultural fit that, maybe slightly different cultures, but I think the heart, the vision, the passion, all of those things that has made Love Biome great are very consistent with what makes LifeVantage great. So when you put all of those things together, it it almost, the negotiations were easy. They really were, because you can build upon what can be. And we very quickly got to this. This is going to be bigger than the two of us on a standalone basis.
Wow. Just like Dawn, I tell you, I feel like I felt like I was at home with Love Biome. But now I feel like I just left the bedroom, the one bedroom, and I moved into the master bedroom. That's how I feel, but I'm still in the same house, but I just feel like I moved from one room to the next because this right here is going to be huge. We had a call this morning. Alkaline Pastor John, he does a call 6 days a week. I'm telling you, from 8 in the morning to 9, and people are on there. We had over 200 people on there this morning, and that call went on until after 11 this morning, with people sharing testimony after testimony, and everybody is so excited about partnering with LifeVantage. People cannot wait until the clock strikes 12 to order their Protandim and their collagen and their GLP-1 packages. I'm telling you, I don't even know how to, I don't know all of them, but but I know that I cannot wait. I'm just going to go crazy in there ordering what I want to order because I drank my last bottle of collagen this morning and I'm fiending right now. So nonetheless, thank you so much for that. And I'm sure everybody's excited about what they just heard too. You are amazing. We love you. We appreciate you. And we are so glad to be here with you. Cannot wait until to see what this looks like.
Well,
Ooh,
be in Dallas. You got to be in Dallas.
Steve,
Oh, definitely.
can I say one more thing, Steve, or ask one more
Absolutely.
thing, or have you touched on one thing? For anyone with watching this who has experience in network marketing, there is this rush in the beginning, and that's what Michelle was a part of and what she spoke about yesterday, and having this quantum leap in your business that is just people are flooding in and it becomes the thing to be a part of. right? And so, but there that has its hardships too, because there's so many kinks you're working out during that time. There's a lot of like things that are not ideal, but you're just making do and you're growing so fast, you have all the growing pains. Can you talk about where we are right now in the industry? Because we're in a very exciting time where we're at this 200 million mark, where that means that we are established. We have all our systems, we have our compensation plan, we have our leadership plans. Each leader has a system for their team. We are just in such unison and ready to go. Can you talk about that stall where most people get held up, that plateau, and why they can't get to that $1 billion and where LifeVantage is headed? And the momentum that's coming, and why, if someone wants to grow really fast in this industry, this would be an incredible time to jump in and surf this wave.
Yeah, happy to. In fact, I've been on calls with some investors this morning, and one of them asked me basically that same question: is why would a consultant from another company be attracted to LifeVantage right now? And versus one of your other big, public peers. And I said to him, I said, we are right now at a point where we do not have the startup challenges that many companies do. We know failure rate in any business is very high. Um, from what I understand and what I've observed, failure rate within the network marketing industry is even higher than a normal trend. So there is a high failure rate amongst startups. There's also, if I look at some of the large companies that have been around in our space for 20, 30, 40 years, you talk about playing defense and being of a size where it is close to impossible to impact change because of the size of the organizations, because of how embedded systems are. Um, they are going to have a very difficult time, in my opinion, continuing to grow and to attract because of their size. I think where we are right now is the perfect size for us right now because it allows us to be, we've demonstrated with what we did with Evolve that we can pivot, we can make changes to enhance. I think everyone on this call right now will raise their hands and say, Evolve is better than our previous comp plan. And I'll go to my grave, believing that. And so we were able to make that change because of our size. We're able to attract people because of our size right now. And in terms of why the plateau, I think about the plateau in two ways. One is it's a testament to our products that we've been able to maintain that plateau, because most companies, if they go up and they plateau for a period of time, they are going to decline because those consultants that built the business are going to look for something else. They're going to go someplace else if the company can't continue to grow. But because of our products and the loyal following of our customers and our consultants, we've been able to maintain that. Now, with that base, again, it allows us now to leverage all of that learning and attract new people. And with the Evolve, we had a group of red carpet people into the office, about 9 people in our office yesterday. Half of them, I would say, were very traditional, coming from a company, traditional network marketers, but about half of them were social influencers. Had one person has over 1 million followers. And that combination of diversity in a group of people coming and looking at LifeVantage at the same time was remarkable. And in fact, I said to them that this was the dream 3 years ago, that in a single conversation, I could be talking to the executive, to people that came from such diverse backgrounds and saw the same opportunity at LifeVantage. And that's why we're different now. And the, just a little bit about the type of people that we're attracting and why our future is so bright.
Oh my gosh, sign me up. Oh my goodness, Steve, thank you so much for your time. We are so appreciative of you. Like Dawn said, we couldn't have a better captain at the helm of our ship, and we appreciate you. We're excited to see you in Dallas.
Awesome.
And my boy
Thank you
said
guys.
hello.
Thank you, thank you,
Tell,
thank you.
tell Steve we said hello.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Steve. We appreciate you. We know you've got a crazy schedule today, so thank you for hopping on and sharing with everybody. It's been great.
My pleasure. Thank you guys.